Hey guys, Tony here. So in this video, I'm going to take you inside the Medicare I&A system. I'm going to show you the difference between the I&A system and PECOS system because they are different. And we're going to go through the steps you'll need to take. One, if you're an employer hiring a contracted clinician or a W-2 clinician, or two, if you're the clinician and you need to connect your I&A account to your employer. In one situation, you're going to do the work. In another situation, you're allowing the employer to do the work. But I want to show you both of those in this video, so stay tuned. All right, so right now you can see on my screen, I'm inside the I&A account. This is essentially where everything begins. And if you look over here, this is where you'll have access to the MPPES system. That's where you applied for your personal MPI. If you're a business owner, it's where you applied for your organizational type 2 MPI. The PECOS system is where you submit your initial enrollments or your reassignments when you're hiring a clinician. You can do all that through PECOS. And then we don't really do anything, but here's the EHR incentive program. We don't do anything with that, but I want to show you and kind of take you through. So let's use scenario number one. Let's say I'm an employer and I'm hiring a contract employee or a W-2 employee. What do I need to do to help that person submit their Medicare enrollment, their reassignment? I come into my account. I come over to my connections. And typically what will happen is you'll see either you personally, if you have a business, an LLC or something set up, you'll see it here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my company. And this is going to ask me to find a provider. So I'm going to click on find the provider. And let's just pretend for a second. So my wife, Kathy, generously agreed to allow me to use her information. So I'm going to do a search. And if I scroll down, you can see, okay, we found Kathy Maritato. We found her MPI. Once I click on the little radio button, it's asking me, what do I want to control? So I need access to her MPPES and her PECOS. Once I hit continue, it'll explain to me you have requested to work on behalf of Kathleen Maritato as a surrogate. Once the connection's been approved, you'll automatically be connected to all associated MPIs. And then you can see below it says I'll have access to PECOS and MPPES. That's what I'm looking for. To send this connection request notification to another email address, in addition to what is currently on file with this provider, add an additional address. So if you're not sure exactly what address they have on file, you can add a secondary address here. In some cases, the original address might be outdated or they don't use that anymore. Once I would hit submit, what would happen is we would receive an email. One would go to Kathleen, one would come to me, just stating that I'm requesting to be a surrogate on behalf of Total Therapy Solution to do the initial enrollment and access to PECOS and MPPES on behalf of Kathleen as the employee or contractor. Now let's take a step back. Let's look at this from a different scenario. So let's say, for example, I'm a clinician and I'm looking to grant access to an employer. What do I do? So I would click on myself. This is just one way to do it. There's a couple ways to do it. I would come down here. Come on. I would come down here and I would add a surrogate. So the surrogate is the person, the organization who's going to be working on my behalf. So I would click. Now you can see I already have Total Therapy as my surrogate. But what I might do is come in here. I'm going to find a different surrogate. Let's see if I can search, because I know there's a couple other companies with my company name. Okay, so like this is not me, this is another company, but what I would do is I would click on that. I would click on PECOS and MPPES. That's what I want to grant access to. I would scroll down and I would hit continue. And now you can see here, you, meaning me as the employee, have requested Total Therapy Solutions to work on behalf of myself as a provider. And I'm granting them access to PECOS and MPPES. If I wanted to use an alternative email for whatever reason, I could. Once I hit submit, again, the hiring individual or company would get notification of the request, and I would get a copy in my own email account. Once we approve, then that organization who's hiring me would have access to my account information so that they can complete my reassignment of benefits. Now, in the next video, I'm going to go ahead and take you through submitting a reassignment of benefits for an individual, whether it's a contractor or a W-2 employee. Guys, I'll see you on the next video.